You vocal warm-ups. Vocal warm-ups. Big smile. Stretch the face so that the mouth can talk. We're live, and I guess we have been live for about 15 seconds. Not that anyone but me knows it currently, because no one has yet to join. So I am alone here in this moment, but I am also with you, future video watcher. This is our moment that we have together privately. Disco is also here. So I feel it's very important to come out right up front and say to my now one live follower, hello. You can leave if you need to now. My ego has been boosted. It's important to come out right up front and say that this is a video about smelling a series of fragrance spray products that are hearse themed to see what they smell like and whether or not you would like to smell of them or to smell them in the atmosphere of your environment. So what I just said sounds simple to me because I live in the monkey house, and to most of you watching, you're like, yes, yes, I understand, get on with it. But I love during this time of year especially to just emphasize the fact that as far as many other people are concerned, we're speaking a different language. And I want to help bridge the language barrier. I feel like I mixed my metaphor there. Bridge the gap, break down the barrier. Whatever needs to be done to help you understand how good these Wild Hearses atmosphere and linen sprays are, I want to do it. And I suppose one thing I can do that will help is to just start smelling them immediately instead of talking for 10 minutes and exhausting people the way I do everywhere I go, literally every day of my life. So, without further ado, I will begin at the beginning, and I trust that the story of what's going on here and why will emerge organically as we go. See how I say without further ado, and then I keep talking. So let's start you off by showing you the convertible hearse atmosphere linen spray. Gorgeous, rich brown 4-ounce bottle, just packed with fragrance, pump mist for those of you who have never seen a Bee Pal home and linen spray before. Well, now, sweetheart, you have. So what this is we specialize generally in oil-based fragrance. I'm gonna keep playing with my nasty mop of hair the entire video because I decided that I was gonna just do bedhead today, and then look what happened. Mainly looking at it, I just wish I was back in bed. We specialize in oil-based fragrance, but we also have been for many years now. Oh gosh, I wish I knew how far back the Atmos went. We have been creating an alcohol-based fragrance spray that is a atmosphere home linen situation. So here's the deal with these. It is an alcohol-based fragrance spray. Actually, most fragrance sprays that people encounter in the real world, perfume, etc., are alcohol-based fragrances, and it is just generally a matter of the distribution, the proportions, etc., that determine like the actual, like, is this like a, you know, you know what I'm talking about. What is a perfume, I guess, is what I'm saying. So, and people ask us all the time if these are safe to use on the body, and the answer is yes, absolutely. You can spray this anywhere you would spray any alcohol-based fragrance spray, including on yourself, and that we basically have marketed these as home and atmosphere sprays to distinguish them from our more body-oriented products. But as long as you don't like Clockwork Orange yourself, or like, you know, get like crazy around the mucous membranes or whatever, spritz responsibly. If you find a scent in a atmosphere spray that you want to be in the atmosphere surrounding you, you can do a little spritz on your clothes. I would do with fabrics from a bit of a modest distance, just so you're not just like pumping a foreign liquid, you know, like directly onto fabrics. Just generally not a good idea. But like truly, you can give yourself a spritz. What I wanted to do though, because we generally have provided these for like atmosphere, home, linen, like all of these things. I liked the idea of getting the car involved because car fragrance is something that BPAL has not really done. We did do a haunted car atmosphere spray some years back as part of a haunted locations series of atmosphere sprays, which was very fun. Convertible hearse is kind of right there in the family of what that smelled like to my recollection. So this fragrance spray is, it says, a chilly whoosh of dead leaves seasoned with the perfect amount of smog. That's the description. That's all you get. So, what does it smell like? I mean, it smells like exactly that. What I like to do to test these is I like to open the neck of the bottle so I can get in there like a nice concentrated sniff, just like I would do from a bottle of perfume oil. And then what I have decided to do for the purpose of testing here is I wanted to be able to spray them on a cushion and then bury my face in the cushion and report back. I figured people would enjoy that, but having cushions in my home that smell like 4 or 5 different things today seems like more than I can handle. So we're gonna spray them onto like a paper towel, which I can then smell as like a surface infected by the substance. And then I can throw these away. So yes, reduce waste. This is just, it's 5 paper towels. It's gonna be fine. Okay, so these were conceived as just a series of like various hearse themed fragrances that ended up being kind of dictated by our terrible sense of humor and our commitment to atrocious puns and wordplay. Not in every instance, as you will see, and not in this instance, the idea of the convertible hearse was just too irresistible because the idea of just like, you know, the hearse going down the freeway with the top rolled all the way back is just very funny. So, and that's where the scent comes from because it's the air outside on the freeway. While you were, I mean, presumably, I think the coffin is in there. And it's just like, you've got the, what are they called? The ratchet straps to hold it back. I think the most butch that I will be today personally is being able to conjure the term ratchet straps out of thin air and use it correctly. So please give me my butch points. No one else is giving them to me. Oh my gosh, have we been 7 minutes and 44 seconds in and 8 people following along live and innumerable future viewers being like, what does it smell like? Smell the bottle. Okay, I hear you, I hear you. Good morning, I hear you. Wow. So, okay, so in the bottle, I'm getting a bit of a burning leaf pile. Okay. It is chilly, and maybe that's why I'm thinking burning leaf pile, because it's like outside in the fall air. A bit of a smoky smolder. You got your, it's not like that super kind of cologne-y dead leaves that some people associate with some of the dead leaf perfume oils. At least not here. I'm just getting like, you know, crackle, like a dusty crackle of the dead leaves. And then it is a bit smoky. It's really nice. There's like a nice touch of sweetness, which I believe is probably owing to the air pollution more than anything else. There is, there is like an outdoorsy quality of this, which I think is nice in terms of an interior spray to bring kind of a bit of that fall vibe in, because so many of the fall vibes scents that are out there are cozy moments that are more like ultimately foodier oriented, more gourmand, more kitchen, more treat bucket. So it's nice to have something that is, and also this is not just like a Thomas Kincaid painting of the fall. There's like something kind of gritty and spooky going on. Just being in the city can be spooky. So I'm gonna spray a little bit on a paper towel, which I have not rehearsed, so it's going to go poorly. You're never supposed to go on stage with any prop you have not rehearsed with before because it will find a way to betray you. Disco's looking like he knows something's up. Ah, well that was just fine. Okay. Oh wow. I mean, it says, I basically sprayed it in the room, so I'm getting it anyway. I should have, what do the paper towels smell like? Okay, they're comfortingly neutral. I was like, wait, what if I have those rank paper towels that you get sometimes? If it's rank, I want to know that it's from the product that we made. What's cool about this is airborne. I am definitely getting a little more of that exhaust smell, which is selling in my brain. Immediate associations are like freeway traffic, in line at the drive-through to eat, like get a burger or get your car washed or whatever, but like a grimy one, which is nice. And then the third one is the tire shop that my grandfather owned and operated when I was a child. There's just like that kind of like fuminess, the industrial fuminess, a bit of exhaust, a bit of grease. I love Beepal's Smokestack perfume oil, and I was like a motivating factor in having it pumpkinized for this year's pumpkin patch. I was like, what about Smokestack? And I don't have it here yet, so I can't, you know, really dig into that. But this has a, like, the Smokestack perfume really is a nice balance for me in terms of this smells lovely and also has like this like industrial overtone, as opposed to, as everyone saw during my last live video, when I smelled the insulation board Tombstone and was a little overwhelmed by the muscle, shall we say, of those industrial notes. I could smell that perfume on my skin for hours and hours afterward. It was one, of course, the one that lingered the longest, the one that was most noticeable ultimately, and I made peace with it and rather enjoyed it to an extent, but I couldn't help laughing at myself because I'm just like, ugh, ugh. So this, however, I would absolutely spray this in my car, first of all, because it smells better than my car actually smells in real life. It's got like, it's like fall vibes without being like pumpkin cheesecake. I mean, we'll get to that later because as I did not tease this in advance, but one of the ones I actually also do have is the pumpkin nut bread spray. So, which I also would spray in my car for different reasons. So convertible hearse though, what I love about it is it really is kind of like chilly and truly atmospheric. And that brings me to a point I was gonna make about these, which is that, we sell a range of these to create atmosphere for role-playing game sessions. We have a whole dedicated series of RPG atmosphere sprays, which is just a cool idea. I mean, obviously the RPG perfume oils are nice for people to like play and layer and create their character with, but there's something nice about setting the stage for RPG activity. And we have had, in the past, we've had experience with folks in the haunt community also looking for an atmosphere spray, or immersive theater and so forth. And several of these, I think, would be particularly useful for that kind of thing. And convertible hearse is definitely one of them because of how well it conveys the like outdoors coming indoors, if that makes sense. Like, how can we make this place smell kind of like chilly and industrial without actually poisoning anyone? This is it. And you already saw me not get poisoned by it, so it should be fine. I really like that. Okay. So, let's just keep scooting on through. I don't have too many of these today, so I will not go for an hour like I did last time. Bless all of you who watched, enjoyed, and supported that nonsense, but that does not have to be our story today. I'm gonna zoom right on next to Headless HEARSEMAN. And as you can see on the label, probably better on the website, the hearse character in this is, the head is like supernaturally ectoplasmically like faded out. So it's like, you know, what if the Headless Horseman was a hearse chauffeur? And the scent is, it says, I had my computer cue cards right here, but it turns out I can read on the label. A bottomless swirl of black leather, dead branches, and flaming pumpkin guts. AKA what a lot of you want the inside of your nose to smell like at all times. And barring that, surfaces, interiors, automobile. I don't know. I feel like the Headless Horseman atmosphere spray might make me a worse driver. there's just an air of, you know, recklessness and daredevilry that I think comes along with that scent. Okay, so this right off the bat, having mentioned the RPG series, this does remind me a little bit of the Unspeakably Evil Temple atmosphere spray, which is periodically available in stock. Wow, there's a really, really deep, smoky sweetness here. It successfully sells pumpkin without being, again, like super overly gourmand. It really has more of that like pumpkin guts smell. Really does. That's interesting. Which is like a smell I associate with food and yet do not find appetizing, which is nice. I can't wait to smell this. It's like kind of frighteningly sexy, you know? Even though you know you're not gonna get any head. I warned you. You were warned very early on. You knew what this video was when you started it. Except for those who didn't, and also possibly the people watching this in court, where I am in the future standing trial for something as yet to happen in this video. Anyway, let the evidence show to the 13 of you, to the brave 13 who are stuck with me, or are just trading places with other people in and out. That's fine. I wish I could see like there should be like an icon that shows how quickly the revolving door is revolving. Wow. This is giving like, it's similar to Convertible Hearse in that it is successfully taking me outdoors. Thank you, Dead Branches. It is giving nighttime. It is giving fancy dress party. It is giving like distinguished gentlemen who cannot be trusted. So I do feel properly transported. And as I'm smelling the paper towel, I should have drawn a cute face on these or something so that I was putting on a funny little pantomime. The branches are coming through. I was kind of curious about what would step forward, and I think it is getting more and more brambly and woodsy as I smell it, which is extremely welcome. I can't think of a part of this that I would be mad at as a coming forward note. But this, so it's like the one before, successfully doing outdoors, indoors, minus the, you know, exhaust and more like Sleepy Hollow vibes. Truly, truly. Beth's a genius. I want to smell like this all day. I want, when I put my coat on to go out, when I put on my luxurious black fake fur coat to go to the taco truck when it's like below 52 degrees, this is what I want the coat to smell like when I put it on. And fortunately, that experience is completely attainable to me within the next couple of months. So, I do not want to move on. Oh my God. Okay, great, great, great. Okay, but you know, if you have to go, why not move straight on to Hearse of Pancakes? Hearse of Pancakes. Now, I feel like Hearse of Pancakes is self-explanatory to an extent because, first of all, it is a play on House of Pancakes, and everyone pretty much knows what that is going to smell like. I have seen people suggesting the possible variant Waffle Hearse, which is also a funny joke and was on the mood board. I think Hearse of Pancakes is funnier, and I don't want to fight about it. I'm open to there being like contrasting opinions about this, but I do think that both fragrances probably would have ended up smelling the same. The description says black coffee, syrup drenched buckwheat cakes, and a crusty cruller for the road. Or does it say that? Because special edition variant label, because I have not fixed this typo yet. The label does not say cruller. It says Krulter. An errant tea has sneaked into the product description copy, and I feel like I might just need to lie down for a while, having discovered this. We work hard at the lab. Sometimes we work fast. I'm having like a full Howl's Moving Castle like meltdown about Krulter. A crusty Krulter for the road. So the only thing I think that could help me move on at this point is actually smell this fragrance and hope that it will cheer me up a little bit. But nothing is going to make that tea go away. Okay. Ooh, wow. So what's great is the only thing that this is missing from an authentic Waffle House House of Pancakes type actual scent is if you went to a real one, you would smell eggs frying and also like farts, right? Because like, look where you are. So this is successfully selling an egg-free fantasy of the House of Pancakes experience. And I, not to brag, but I have a little experience here because I worked at the graveyard shift at Denny's by the strip club near the freeway off-ramp in Tempe, Arizona for some formative years in the late 90s. So I'm just saying, like, this is one of those areas I don't get to feel like this qualified that often. But I can say with conviction, as someone who once at 3 a.m. blended a Denny's Grand Slam breakfast into a milkshake for a customer on a dare to see if I could get them to drink it, if I promised to buy them like the breakfast of their choice afterward, and they did drink it. I can tell you that this is legit. So, but don't take my word for it. Let's ask the paper towel. Let's give it the paper towel test. Also, that Denny's that I worked at had a smoking section, and that's a big part of like what. Okay, spraying them this close to the face against a surface. Don't do it. I'm gonna try to be more mindful of that going forward because it's now in the back of my throat. So if anyone at this point would like to smell the back of my throat, they would be reliving the full Denny's experience along with me. Okay, so I will say in the bottle that I got much more, of course, just much more like syrup and sweets because it's all right there. Here on the paper towel, the coffee it actually has a chance to step forward and be like, I've got this, everyone step back. That's nice. I wanted the coffee. This is just gonna be really good in the car. If you're a realtor, this is the spray, of course, to spray in the kitchen. If you want people to think you can cook, this is a great place to start. Also, I just need to, if you've never cooked pancakes before, you should know that it's just universally understood that the first one is always comes out ruined and you can throw it away and no one has to eat it. And it's not a personal failure because even Julia Child probably regularly ruined the first pancake. Oh, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. The coffee is very needed in this atmospherically to help cut that sweetness because otherwise it really would be full like cavity in a bottle, like donut syrup sweetness. The coffee is also kind of something about that coffee syrup action really does make it like a fall scent. It's giving fall breakfast. Well done. Well done. I like, again, too, that, like, you know, this is relatively self-explanatory. There's not a lot of concept involved. But that brings us to, hot pink hearse. So, full disclosure is that I do not have the kind of spiritual companion for this bottle, which is the lime green hearse. That's on its way, and I'll feel really stupid if it shows up later today, and I could have just filmed this tomorrow. I also don't have Hiss and Hearse, which is the snake oil Dorian blending together atmosphere spray, which is a completely first of its kind concoction the lab has done, and worthy probably of its own standalone video later, once I have it in my possession. For now, though, hot pink hearse. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't do it? Who doesn't want this? I can't think of anyone who is so butch that they wouldn't get a kick out of driving a hot pink hearse. There's a point, well, one of the wonderful things about like gender being made up and also um, masculinity like wanting everything for itself. There is a magical point past which a hot pink hearse is so fabulous that literally anyone would want to drive it and get the attention that one gets for driving it. That's just the way it works. I can't think of you know, if you're like out there watching this video somehow, then you're already only so masked. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. But like, if you're watching this video and you're like, I would under no circumstances drive a hot pink hearse, I want you to film a video of you saying that and say like, hello, my name is, and I under no circumstances would ever want to drive a hot pink hearse. And I will be compiling these responses so that I can learn, because it's, as you know, the marketing person for the lab, it's very important for me to understand our audience and to like keep learning about the world and various gender expressions and so forth. But my theory is that hot pink hearse is for everyone. And I've said it. That doesn't mean the scent is for everyone. Which brings me to the description. It says, flashy pink guava, strawberry jam, sugared pink grapefruit, blackberry bergamot, I should have read it off the screen, and pink champagne, which you should not drink while driving, adorned with a gleaming chrome Landau bar. So there's even a Mask automotive reference in the fragrance. But it is undeniably an extremely fruity, fizzy, pink scent with a lovely, cool bite from the chrome, and which I think is like helps it as like a fall fragrance. Like it does have a bit of a chill to it. And I recognize that not everyone's fragrance fantasy smells like this. And also, fellas, when you're out there swaggering around in your super mask hot pink hearse, like your scent fantasy for the interior might be completely different. You know, like it could be like a whole different thing. So like the gender fluidity of the hot pink hearse experience is to be respected. However, we had to make just one fragrance to encapsulate the concept, and it is this wonderful. So in the bottle, I'm getting grapefruit immediately, the fizziness of the champagne, the shiny steel of the chrome, and then like other stuff, which I know from the label, but like it doesn't really have a chance to come out and play exactly because of the concentration. So let's atomize this fucker. Let's see what she can do. Safely at a distance. Okay. One will do. One will do. Okay. Okay. So like, you know, again, not everyone wants to find themselves in a fruity environment. I love to enfruiten an environment, you know, and give people an opportunity to see what they think. I like it when people are like fruit curious and get to experiment with me. I will say that while this has got a kind of like a rowdy pink jungle juice vibe in the bottle because it's just bursting out all over, there is an elegance that emerges in the spray. Thank you, blackberry. Thank you, bergamot. To deepen it and mellow it and sweeten the ride, okay? So it's not like Candy Town, USA. But it's like a smell that could take you to Candy Town, USA, you know, if that is your final destination. This is beautiful. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's just like delicately balanced, so it's not like, it's not as skanky as I thought it would be. Again, no judgment. I'm like skank pride. Like I would like make me the, you know, mayor of the skank pride parade. Just once. I don't need to keep coming back, but like to make my point, it's not even like, I don't think it's like even like particularly skank adjacent. It's just like shimmering and beautiful, and it's giving San Junipero vibes. That's what I'm getting from it. Like there's a kind of a lift and an optimism and like some darker tones. You got your, there's like some bisexual lighting happening in this scent. It's beautiful. You want to show up at the Pink Pony Club smelling like this shit. Okay, great. I had not gone in like that with this one before. I'm really glad I saved it for the camera. So, oh no, I've only been talking for 30 minutes. That's just not enough attention. I actually, though, I'm out of Hearse now. There are those 2 left that I mentioned, which we don't have yet here on premises to review. Just those 4, which had already been released at Comic-Con or at Dragon Con and are now available online as part of the Halloween collection, but also as part of the Halloween collection, I do have the pumpkin nut bread spray. Now, I don't even know if I need to read the description, and I didn't design this label, so it's smaller, and but I'll try. Pumpkin puree baked into a, oh damn it, into a walnut studded loaf, steaming with cinnamon, nutmeg, and clove. I did it. I get the middle-aged omnifocal contact lens award. So what's funny about this? I immediately want to just like loosen my pants, or I would if they were not elastic waistband. The other night I made a pumpkin nut bread, and granted the nuts in question were cacao nibs, but they have a kind of a nutty taste when they're baked because of the texture and the taste. It's not like chocolatey per se. And it was so funny to get this in the mail the day after I had actually completely naturally and of my own free will filled the house with the scent of pumpkin nut bread made from a mix. And now, when we smelled this, Galen and I poked our nose into the bottle, and we just kind of laughed because it's like, it's not that it wasn't special, but it like, we just smelled this like yesterday for real. Man, I can see the oil in this spray. That's what I'm talking about. Like, this is like an alcohol-based spray, but like some of them look clearer than others. And in this one, I can see like more like oil globules. And just like, you know, you got fancy white sheets or whatever, or like a nice bedspread or, you know, whatever you're doing. Not up close, not up close. Just give it like a waft. Let it carry. And certainly not in the eyes or like in your pee hole or whatever. You know, I just say stuff like that to see if anyone's even still listening. Oh my gosh, it does have, okay, so it's like the pumpkininess in the bottle. You've got some of that lovely yeastiness, which is a desirable quality in a pumpkin nut bread spray. And, or just in a pumpkin nut bread in general, because if your bread doesn't smell like that, then it's not bread, I guess. Oh, that happened so fast. I should have thought about that harder. Like, that's it. How do you sell this? If you've had pumpkin nut bread before and you liked it and you want the smell of it to surround you, granted, spraying this on my luxurious large black faux fur coat to walk to the taco truck when it's 52 degrees or lower is a completely different fantasy and feels a little like mixed messaging. Like the idea of spraying myself with pumpkin nut bread on my way to go get tacos, like, I don't think so. That being said, I just want to be held by this. Like, I might need a series of large fake fur coats that smell of different things. Maybe I could keep them in sealed in garment bags so there's not cross-contamination. I definitely want this to be on a blanket that is like pinning me to the bed. Beautiful, beautiful. What I like about this too is that I like fall candles. Everybody who likes scent, eventually, there's a candle out there that will make you buy it. But I don't like having that much fire in the house, and I don't like filling the house with smoke when you extinguish it. I know there are ways to do it where it doesn't, it's just like a pain in the ass. If for no other reason than the smell of the extinguishing candle often does interfere with like the lingering scent of what you just enjoyed. So I find the sprays are actually better to get like a nice even distribution of scent where you want it instead of throughout the entire house. Like in a place, like on a special pillow or a stuffed animal or a blanket or a coat or whatever, and then you can have it and be as close to it as you want. And then, you know, it just stays more stable. Like if I burn a candle and I can still smell it this strong, like the next day, then that seems like not good. This is so beautiful. This, as it goes on, the spice is coming out, and it's just kind of like singing with the little spicy bits that were kind of suppressed by the pumpkin, by the weighted blanket of pumpkin before. Weighted pumpkin puree weighted blanket. It's like a waterbed mattress full of pumpkin puree. Why didn't anyone think of this? People were doing the wrong drugs back then. Okay, or personally, I probably just need better ones myself. I do have the Labs bottle of 13, which is, I believe, on sale just a few more days because I think we were setting a limit with it related to the upcoming Lunacy. The Lunacy video is going to be, or Lunacy video. The Lunacy video is going to be posted this week. That's like a note to myself because I'm the one who has to post the Lunacy video. But the fragrance collection, which is pretty much all anyone else cares about or needs to know about, is incoming. There's a brief window where you're going to be able to also get the 13 perfume oil from this recent Friday the 13th. Every year that there's a Friday the 13th, sometimes more than once a year, like this year, because there's one in December. The lab releases a good luck charm scent that is specifically Friday the 13th released, and it's meant to drive away bad luck. And there's a certain bit of like folklore when it comes to certain ingredients and spices and whatever associated with good luck. And there's also just the good mojo of someone you trust making you a beautiful fragrance to smell and wear and feel better during times when you feel unlucky or really can't afford to, you know, risk any bad luck. Well, I guess this is I'm trying to give like this lengthy preamble disclaimer that says that if you wear our scent and then like get run over by a steamroller, Judge Doom style, we are not responsible. We do not bend the forces of fate to determine what things, good, bad, or otherwise, happen to whomever. We're working on it, and I think we'll get there. But for now, we just have these little bottles of oil accompanied by a great deal of like folklore in the product description about the number 13 and what people have historically believed about it. And then the scent description, and they're a little different every time. And Beth writes, this time around, we've crafted an olfactory celebration of renewed hope and good fortune. Jamaican chocolate, tea, and gulab jamun with coconut milk, green and black cardamom, pistachio, basmati rice, saffron, dates, honey, nutmeg, and clove. These tend to be like a pretty long assortment of notes. So there you go. I mean, so many different things that I had kind of with 13, I have a hard time envisioning how it might actually smell. I remember some of the ones I've really liked have incorporated chocolate, so that seems to be a recurring note. In the bottle, this is very chocolatey. And I do get, coming up under it, I'm getting, did it say saffron? Yes, it did. Getting a bit of like the, just kind of like a lovely savory spiciness. But then it really does, it has like honey and date. So, because for a second I thought maybe it was going a little fruity, and then I looked at the list again, and the only fruit that seems to be there is the date. And then I realized that that basically is what I'm smelling. At this point, I just have acres of skin because I have been sampling atmosphere sprays and not perfume oils. I can put it literally anywhere. I'm completely a blank canvas. Just slather in it. And then this could be the fragrance that I wear for the rest of the day because it will already be on my body. Admittedly, it's smelling a little crazy in here because of the pile of dirty paper towels directly in front of me. But not so bad that Disco has left the room because he's still here snoozing in my lap. I'll bring him in to say goodbye. Okay, so this really is like I feel like the style of the scent is like open air spice market. Suddenly, if you think of it that way, everything makes sense. You've got your like your gulab jamun pastries, your sweets. You've got your fruit in terms of like things like, is coconut a fruit? But like the dates and such. But these spices are here too, and it's like these are not like sweetened up spices. It's just like the dry, you know, like raw material. Really nice. The coconut and date together, both of them are really kind of like, I feel like mellow scents that help keep things toned down instead of like a really spicy, wildly like aggressive or savory scent. The chocolate is like present, but more like just like reduced to a background part, shining in a minor role. So there's like room for, like, that's what I mean about the spice market. There's kind of like room to explore, and it just kind of like shifts a little bit here and there. Like I wore this the other day just to give it, because I was worried about being able to parse it all like live when my brain was already doing pinwheels. And I remember there's like a moment when I suddenly got more of the coconut, or like a moment later when like I was like, oh, that's the pistachio. There was a moment like a little later on when there was like almost like a floral, I wanted to say rosewater note, and I'm trying to remember if that's part of the, maybe the gulab jamun, although it's not mentioned. But like it was that like kind of like lovely shifting focus that's reminiscent of like a wonderful shopping experience in a marketplace, which I satisfy personally by going down to the alleys and warehouses in the toy district here in downtown LA, where it's just like open air market where you can buy like Dora the Explorer pinata, or like, you know, street corn, or tiny little toys or religious incense, and it's just all kind of, you know, shifting around, repeating. Often the stalls are very similar to each other. This is like a more beautifully gourmand version of that. There's not like, you know, a pinata, or I mean, and you know, I guess a street corn would be a gourmand note, but like not here. No. This is like where you go to get fine ingredients to make, you know, the best possible cake to serve at a fancy banquet. It's just kind of like, I guess maybe because of the amount of different things, it just like feels like a little, there's like a lively sensation of like a crowd atmosphere. But I would not say that the scent feels like crowded or overwhelming. Right now I'm getting more of the pistachio note, which is always a friend. But then it kind of shifts right like into the nutmeg. So this is like a great one for people to explore if you're like interested in the gourmand, but like not as much just like the heavy like cake and brownies and pie and like whatever, which we do a lot of. So, well, between all of the talking and all of the sniffing, I'm completely exhausted, and only 43 minutes have passed. So I managed to cut it down by like a third for live stream Weenie Sniff number 2. And I'm very tempted to cut things off pretty much right now so that we can, you know, preserve that precedent. I will pull up Disco here. Do you want to come say hi to the people? He has no idea what I'm talking about. He's like, I was having a dream about a squirrel. Someone, Mabel, right now just sent me a text message asking if I've seen the new movie The Substance, and Galen and I did go and see it and enjoyed every goddamn minute of it. And Disco didn't see it. He was at home in his crate. Look how calm. How could my mental health not improve with this this relationship at the center of my life? Granted, he is also crazy, right? Okay, well, now it's 45 minutes, and so at risk of undoing everything I sought to do, it's just definitely time to sign off. So thank you everyone who joined in last time in the wave of support and welcoming us back to the YouTubes. I'm gonna get a big box of BPAL in the mail this week at some point with all of this stuff. Some of you already even have it before I do. And we'll just take it like one mini collection at a time and see how much of it we can chew through. And you're just welcome to join me here on the couch any old time. Have a wonderful week. Happy Monday. And also, if you have impressions about the Hearse sprays or the 13, I would love to hear them. And those impressions do help other people also, because no one should just take it all from one perception, especially since I work for the lab. So my credibility as a narrator is sketchy. But also don't forget, there are reviews posted by people all the time at the bpal.org web forum where folks gather to just share their impressions of stuff. And there's also a lot of good swaps and trades and decant circles running right now of folks who are just trying to like make sure the right perfume ends up in the right hands, shall we say. And with that, I bid you adieu, and I hope that you have safe travels in your hearse of choice. And we'll talk next time. Bye. Boop.